what's going on, guys? I'm Elliott Clark, aka Apartment Bartender, here at WSWA 76, here with the incredible brand and person behind the brand, Marsh.
Cheers.
Yeah,
it's good to be here.
so for a lot of people tuning in, I had the pleasure of meeting Marsh last year at WSWA 75 in Las Vegas. An incredible story, but I don't want to ruin it. Kind of dive right in. Marsh, tell us a little bit about Gray Whale Gin and,
Well, thank you.
and your story.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you as well, buddy. Well, the Gray Whale Gin is simply put mine and my wife's love story to California, if you like. I mean, you can really see it really easy here. There's the California coastline. The points along there represent the gray whale's migratory path, and the 6 ingredients that are listed on the front of the bottle, that's what goes into making it. So you know the story very near and dear. And actually, the thing I'm the most proud of is the fact that we give back to Oceania, protecting the world's oceans. We're 1% for the planet certified. And anyway,
I love that. I love that.
It's Cali in a glass.
I love that. No, it's an amazing gin, and last year you guys were able to take first in the brand battle.
We
right?
were.
So,
We were lucky.
Yeah. So now you're back a year later. What has changed with the brand and changed within your business after having won last year?
Good question. You know, for us, it was sort of, Elliot, it was like go back to why we got into this in the first place. And the reason for doing this was to, help Oceania, protect the world's oceans, but how do we do that strategically?
Right.
You've got all these wonderful wholesalers now as a result of winning brand battle, they all want to do business with us, which is flattering, and they go 18 states right across the country, right away. I could turn it on tomorrow. But we knew that without the right support, without doing it correctly, strategically growing the brand would be gathering dust on the shelves.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This is the year now when I'm back. You know, it's been incredible because it's sort of like The Bachelor.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I hear you.
They ask you to host it now. So I hosted the brand battle, and it's been incredible. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
It was so cool to see all these wonderful brands. The one right behind you, Buckland, amazing, and this one again, the Seaside.
Yeah, they took first, right?
Yeah, those two.
The first tie in WSWA brand battle history, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was there.
So have you found that coming back this year, like what impact has coming back this year had, or kind of what was the mindset coming back here after having won last year?
Good question. Again, you know, you kind of get to the point where already we know every distributor.
Right.
So why bother? So, but to come back and raise your profile again and get in front of everybody, now's the time that we kind of know what we're doing. We didn't really know what we were doing last year.
Right.
Fake it till you make it. And it was cool because now strategically we can have those conversations and put faces to the names that we've been speaking to all year. You know, people like Charlie Marinoff just giving us some wonderful advice, and Sid Ross, and you know, it's wonderful to have that kind of FaceTime with people. And coming back for us, we're meeting a lot of different people, folks that we've never thought about, like money people that, you know, venture funds that we'd never even considered, but they're approaching us. So if a brand out there is thinking about it, I would say wholeheartedly, this is the one time in your career that you can actually be in front of the decision makers, the people with the keys to the kingdom. Right. So it's kind of cool.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a big fan personally of the brand. Again, I had the chance to meet you guys last year, and last year your co-founder and wife was not able to be here, Jan, but she came with you this time. It's amazing to get to meet her. And
Thank you.
So for everyone that doesn't know, I had been working with Gray Whale, and we've collaborated a little bit this past year, and had the opportunity to go to Mexico on an awesome trip to kind of find out a little bit more about like the mission and the purpose behind the brand. For me personally, as an apartment bartender and somebody that makes drinks at home, that's what we're going to dive into. Again, I'm a big fan of the brand and a big fan of how it mixes. So we're going to get you shaking up some cocktails. So we're going to do a nice refreshing cocktail with Gray Whale Gin. So we're going to start with 2 ounces or 1.5 ounces of the gin. And if you zoom in super close, you can see just how shaky my hands get, which is what the gin is perfect for. So we're gonna add in a couple strawberries. So are you a fan of making drinks at home?
I love to make drinks. Yeah. Negronis are usually my go-to. I mean, I love gin. I'm a real gin fan. Period. You know, I like to just drink it on the rocks.
Right.
And you know, there's not many people outside of the industry that do that.
Right.
But
well, when the product's good, then and the spirit's good, then you know it's easy to kind of drink it. Because in my opinion, when you drink something and it's, you know, not aged or doesn't have any maturation process, you know, you really get to taste the essence of the botanicals and everything. So
yeah.
I am looking for a muddler.
A muddler.
Yeah, we need to get a muddler over here. If not, you know what? I got one. So we have gin, strawberries, lime juice, and then need to add some simple syrup. So that's right here. So again, making a refreshing gin cocktail, super easy. One of the things that I love most about mixing with gin is the ability to incorporate a lot of fresh fruit, a lot of fresh flavors, especially around springtime, right? With spring and summer coming up, like you said, if you can either drink gin neat if that's what you fancy. Otherwise, you can, you know, oranges, fresh limes, lemons, grapefruits, like any fruit that you're really going to mix with is going to mesh well. So you want to go ahead and give that a muddle?
Sure. And you know, for me, Elliot, it's all about trying to catch a strawberry with a muddler is hard. That's why you gave this to me,
That's why
right?
I gave it to you, actually.
Try and hit those slippery things. You know, for me, when I go down the spirits aisle, you know, as a distiller, I see corn when I see the bourbon aisle, and I see grapes when I go down the wine aisle. But when I come to the gin aisle, I see a botanical garden, just all these flavor profiles. Whether it's from India or, you know, Tasmania, Japan, it doesn't matter. I'm getting the botanicals from each part of the world, and that's why I love all these gin cocktails, because you get to play with all the botanicals again, fresh versions.
Right.
It's beautiful.
So I don't think I asked you this. So why gin? Like, you know, before you said you and your wife were really passionate about spirits. Like, so how did you come to gin?
Gin was a no-brainer. Like I host the show on the food. Is that good enough?
Yeah, you muddled it perfectly.
Thank you, Chief Muddler. For me, it was. It's the one spirit, like I said, I can get into the kitchen and chop things up and
go ahead and fill that with ice
and use my it's all right, and use my culinary background to kind of really make a spirit that I can craft.
Right.
Without, I mean, every other spirit, aside from a botanical rum, I mean, you can kind of get in the kitchen and play with that. Every other spirit relies heavily on the base ingredients that went into it, fermentation process, whereas the whole point of a gin is to have a grain-neutral spirit and allow those botanicals to shine.
Right.
So for us, we had this playground of California. Like, what are we going to put in it? Is that enough ice?
That's perfect.
So what are we going to put in it? So we started playing with things like kombu sea kelp, big in Japanese cuisine.
Right.
Goodness, every thing you could possibly imagine we played with, from Baja Pacia chilies to
so
you name it.
From initial conception and idea, how long did it take to kind of get everything produced? And as you say, I'm going to interrupt you again and shake
it's all right.
up.
Shake it up. You do that well. I got to learn that technique.
The key is to wear tight shirts and to flex while you're shaking.
It's about looking good, right?
Always.
It took about 2 years, to be quite honest. And you can see, I mean, this is not like your average-looking bottle.
No, it's not.
It doesn't.
It's a beautiful bottle.
Thank you. So that's, again, my wife, you know, overachiever.
Yeah.
She's a perfectionist, and so
that.
I knew I had to up the game on the gin.
Right.
So it was a fun time, but it was a long time.
So, talk a little bit more about, you know, you had mentioned the mission behind the bottle and kind of this upcoming trip. You know, I think this would be really good for a lot of brands that are here and new brands, because, you know, if they find success here and kind of hit the metrics that they're looking for, you know, going into, you know, life after WSWA, you know, especially from a social and digital perspective, like what have you found to work, you know, since leaving WSWA last year, winning? Like, how did you translate that over into like a social media perspective? Because that's my forte. Like, I'm in the social media world, so I'm curious about that.
Well, I'm curious as well, because my wife handles most of the social media. But for us, it was simply put, that's gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
Wow. It's all about being authentic.
Right.
And, you know, our mission has always been Oceana, protecting the world's oceans. So that's part of that trip to Mexico, was to end gillnet poaching, gillnet fishing, I should say. Most people have no idea what gillnet fishing is, but it's where you put 1 mile nets out there in the hopes of catching swordfish.
Right.
So Oceana and our funding has helped ban gillnet fishing in California. It's the only state that's still allowed gillnet fishing, which is mad. So from our perspective on a social media platform, it was about staying true to who we are. We're a lifestyle Californian brand that focuses on great craft spirits and yes, well done.
Yeah. finish it before you got done talking.
It's so great. You're a pro, man. I'm dying to try it.
So yeah, I mean that's awesome. I'm really excited for what you guys are doing.
Thank you. And thanks
even
for the
how
support.
Yeah, absolutely. And how you guys translate your purpose onto social, because like you said, authenticity and like that story is the most important. Last year, I had the opportunity to speak here, and that was really what I talked about was authenticity and story. And so speaking of authenticity, we have a really authentic gin cocktail right now. So it's we have Grey Whale gin, fresh lime juice, muddled strawberries, we have some simple syrup. So that's a really easy cocktail that you can make at home. And then I went ahead and topped it with some sparkling wine. Again, spring and summer's coming up, so it's good to get the drinks that are going to help keep you refreshed and everything, especially poolside. So why don't you do the honors?
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you. What are you calling this?
I'm calling it the Marsh.
The Marsh.
Strawberry Marsh.
All right. Well, cheers. Strawberry Marsh.
Yeah, pressure's on. If it doesn't taste good, don't tell us. Yeah.
You know what it tastes like? It tastes like a candy I had when I was a kid. It was, gosh, it's just mouth-wateringly good.
That was good.
And so fresh.
That was good. Sometimes I just throw things in a cocktail shaker and hope it turns out good, but that one turned out pretty well.
I'm going to have another little sip. Absolutely. That's so good. Thank you.
Well, hey, Marsh, I appreciate you taking some time up here. Again, sharing your story. I think there are a lot of brands here that look up to you guys and look up to your story, and it's really cool to see you back here and kind of see how much you guys have grown over the year. So I'm really excited to continue working with you and following along in your story.
And hearing that from you is,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a huge compliment.
I appreciate that. So again, WSWA 76. This is Marsh and Jan with Grey Whale Gin. Definitely follow their story. Grab yourself a bottle if you can. And again, I'm Elliott with Apartment Bartender. Signing off. Gonna go drink the rest of this cocktail.
I'm gonna
steal it from this guy. Yeah. All right, guys. Take care.
Cheers.